Welcome to your coverage of Missoula's sports heroes. You're tuned in to the Missoula Prep Sports Network live stream of local sports. This presentation of Missoula Sports is proudly powered by Fuel Fitness, the only gym from Montana for Montana. MPSN is your leader in Missoula's prep sports. We now take you to the action on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Missoula Prep Sports Network's coverage of high school sports. We've got Loyola soccer going on with the Loyola Rams and Breakers hosting the Stevensille Yellow Jackets. It is the boys first today. The ladies will have the cap to the day. So Stevensille and Loyola, boys starting things off. Loyola coming off of a tough loss on Saturday to Hamilton. Hamilton coming out, and it was a pretty good affair in the first half. It was a tale of two halves for sure. The first half being a very strong defensive half for both sides, and then look out, folks, here comes Hamilton, and the Hamilton boys, who are a senior strong squad, came out in the second half and really lit up the back of the net on Saturday. The Breakers will come up at 5 o'clock. And the Breakers with the win over Hamilton. Loyola Breakers, the Heartbreakers, are playing themselves into a position of dominance and can put themselves in a very good position with wins to finish out the rest of the season as we approach the end of the fall sports season. We've got AA golf going on right now over in Great Falls, and that finishing up today. We'll have state champions for AA and A golf today, because the tournament was scheduled for last week, but with the beautiful Montana weather that we received, well, it ended up being moved to this week. And the next week we'll go and have the divisional tournaments for soccer, and we'll have state tournaments coming up in a couple of weeks for soccer, cross country. Volleyball will finish things up. Well, actually, volleyball and then football will finish everything up for the high school fall sports season, and we are very excited and also heartbroken that it has already come to an end for the high school sports season for the fall portion. We'll have basketball coming up in just a few months, folks. It's hard to believe that we're just a few weeks away from Halloween and only a few more weeks away from Thanksgiving. Hunting season coming up, and the season's changing, and then we get into basketball season. Wrestling will start, as well as swimming for all of our high school sports athletes, and we are very excited about the coverage for high school sports this year, as we will be able to do, as we have done a few of the MCPS football games, we will also have the opportunity to do the MCPS boys and girls basketball. So MPSN will cover all 5 high schools this year for boys and girls basketball, and we are very excited. This is the goal that we were trying to get to make sure that the coverage is top-notch for boys and girls sports throughout high school sports here in Missoula. If you have not already stopped by the MPSN website, make sure you do, and check out the Prep Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Fuel Fitness. You'll be able to vote on who the prep athlete is from each one of the 5 high schools here in Missoula. So stop by, vote on that. Always remember that you can always get your schedules for Missoula's high school sports off of MPSN as well. Every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we do post the schedules, as those are the days. We've got the teams lining up, and we'll be ready for our national anthem here in just a moment. And there's the golden pipes of Loyola soccer ready to do the introductions.
And the Fighting Rams of Loyola, Sacred Heart High School. As member schools of the Montana High School Association, they remind you that sportsmanship and the objectives of educational
So we'll get that lined up. We'll have the national anthem here in just a few moments, and then when we come back, we'll get you your starting lineups and get the kickoff underway here at Rollin Field. Let's go ahead and do the lineups.
Number 3, Camden Johnson. Number 4, Fareed Gonzalez. Number 5, Jess Mitchell. Number 6, Maddox Hurlbert. Number 7, Luke Gross. Number 8, Cole Olson. Number 9, Oliver Pope. Number 10, Carlos Morales. Number 12, Garrett Schreiber. Number 13, Ben Stemos. Number 14, Jason Yasky. Number 15, Matthew Bradford. Number 16, Ryan Monk. Number 20, David Damaski. Number 21, Thomas Hendricks. Number 22, Trevor Wilson. Number 23, Weston Cook. Number 24, Gabe Franklin. Number 26, Robert Kraft. Number 27, Chance Lester. The Stevensille coach is Ralph Surratt.
All right, that's Stevensville's
Now
lineup.
introducing the Fighting Rams of Loyola Sacred Heart High School, starting with the Ordo Senioritis number 2, senior captain Garrett Steele. Wearing the knot, in goal, senior captain Danny Oliva. Number 13, Ray Morgan. The juniors with number 9, Will Burns. Number 5, Alex Perkins. Number 11, Jake Brewer. And number 15, A. Brewer. The sophomores with number 12, Clayton Ogilvie. And the freshman with number 16, Trent Bell. Number 4, Daniel Kale. Number 6, Rafe Hansen. Number 1, Hudson Kovic. Number 3, Isaac Hurtado Landry. Number 10, Lexton Shank. Number 14, Colby Strickney. Number 8, Hugo Tomazelli. And number 7, Thomas Waffle. The Rams head coach is Eric Bunn. At this time,
All righty, so that's your lineups. We'll go ahead and step aside while we have the national anthem. Loyola Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Yellow Jackets and Rams right after this.
Warning, warning, this is not a drill.
Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash are at it again. They've taken what was already the best wash in town, the best value in town, and made it even better. Now, whenever you gas up your rig at Fast Trip Conoco, you can clean it up for half price. Yeah, you heard that right. When you fuel up your car at Fast Trip Conoco, you can get any wash at Magic Touch Car Wash for half price.
Warning, warning, this is not a drill.
It's the Gas It Up, Clean It Up special at Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash on reserve across from Larchmont.
Half price wash, only valid when purchased at the pump or in Fast Trip Conoco.
Hey, are you gonna try out that new gym? I hear it's really cheap.
Not a chance. They don't have group exercise classes with awesome instructors like we get at Fuel. And the owners are in New York City. What?
The New York way is not the Montana way, so no way.
Fuel Fitness and Nutrition, your Montana born and bred fitness chain. And unlike the others, we never close.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network. We are at Rollin Field for the Loyola Rams and the Stevensille Yellow Jackets for Senior Day here at Rollin Field. How cool is that? Senior Day always means that it's the end of the season. as we get ready to go. Boys lining up. On the field, it will be Loyola to have it. As the field sits, it is right to left. The Rams will, or east to west, I should say. The Rams defending the western goal. There's the whistle. We are underway, and the clock has started here at Rollin Field. We're ready for a good one today. And it's Cade Kruer. Nice little chip to Schrichty. Played inside, and Stevensille will pick it up. Stevensille, they are coached by the legendary Missoula soccer coach Ralph Soretti, as Kirkus is going to play this one out of bounds. No, it'll be saved right on the line by Sant. Sant plays it forward, controlled by Carlos Morales for Stevensille. Ogilvie will have the takeaway, played ahead to Sant. Sant will pick it up off the end line on the near side, play to the middle of the field, now down to the 20-yard line, and Cade Kruer will go down. They're going to call this an intentional foul on Stevensille, so the Rams will have our first kick here. This one's kicked into the box to the backside and rolled to the end line, not out of bounds. A chip upfield, and now Stevensille will turn it on the far side, crossing midfield. Here's a good play, played ahead by Matthew Radford, and it's Ogilvie to chase down, and it's off-target shot by Chance Lester. And we'll set up a goal kick for Kaleva. On the far side of the goal box, chipped to the far side. Burns will stall it at the 30-yard line. This is also the football field. Played into the box and picked up on the run by Kaleva. Drop kick to the middle of the 50. Jace Kruer trying to settle it. He does. He's got two on as he goes up the far sideline. Chips it to the middle of the field. Nobody there. And the keeper will come out and pick it up. In the goal, Benjamin Schreiber for the Yellow Jackets. Here's a good drop kick to midfield, controlled by Cade, but immediately taken away by number 7, Luke Gross. Gross plays it to the outside. Heavy wind here at Rollin Field. The Rams wearing their Columbia blue tops with the navy shoulders. They've got navy pants with Columbia blue rings on them. Played to the middle of the field. Here's Dial. Dial will play it up, chased by one, crosses to the near side. Sant chases it down, can't get to it, and we'll have an out of bounds on the near sideline. Our officials for today's match, Darren Baer, Tracy Worley, and Christopher Cahoon. Inbound, throw-in, controlled by Gross. Gross will play it ahead, and here's an onside run by Lester. Lester to the top of the box. He'll take a right-footed shot. Kaleva with the save, and he'll have to hop back on top of it. Good run by the Yellow Jackets. Kick to midfield will bounce across midfield. Now played ahead. Onside is Jace. Jace down to the near corner, into the box on the near side. He'll dribble deep into the box, covered up by two, and Schreiber will pick it up on the roll. Schreiber with the goal kick, or with the drop kick. Ogilvie plays up on it. A header by Kirkus, and trying to settle is Stevensille. Good duel. Ball bounces out of bounds. Ray Morgan on the duel for the Rams. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Down the near sideline, just across the 50 on the Rams side. Here's Ogilvie to chip it ahead. Nobody there. Chest stall by Oliver Post, and Post will switch fields to the far side. Chased down by Cole Olson. Olson now with a play on the ball at midfield. He'll play it ahead, but taken away very quickly by Isaac Mercado Landry. And we'll have offsides on Lester. So the Rams with the free kick. Oh, they're going to say that's out of bounds and it's a throw in. Okay. You can hear the wind on the microphone. We're scheduled to have a storm come through. And they'll say this is a Loyola throw in now off the deflection on the far side. And it'll be thrown in at midfield by Dial. Trying to go down the sideline. He's got Jace. And out of bounds off of Stevensille. So now Loyola will throw in front of the Stevensille bench, which is on the eastern side of the field. Good throw into Jace. Chipped towards out of bounds, but Dial is there to stop it. Now played back to Cade. Cade ahead to to Jace. Jace Crewer through traffic, trying to use the right foot. Has the pass, but cut off. Dial there to battle as well. Dial picks it up, plays it outside, and it's picked up by Konzen on the far side. Konzen dribbles to the corner of the box, drops it back to Dial. Too much on the touch, and is picked up by Stevi. Now on the run is Carlos Morales, and Morales is stopped by Morgan. Morgan with time and space, chips it ahead. This one's down the sideline and out of bounds. It'll be Stevi throw in. And they'll throw it into the box on the near side. And a kick up field. Morgan's going to be called for using the body. Trying to get physical to win the ball. Light droplets of rain coming down. Stevi is wearing an all-white jersey. They've got a black stripe down the side, and then their numbers are in black. Here's a chip up the near sideline, and Sant will have it towed out of bounds. Throw in for Stevi, just up from the box on Loyola's side of the field. We're 0-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. 33 minutes on the the 5 Valley Auto clock. And with the throw-in is Morales. Coming down the near sideline to Radford. Radford will play it to the top of the box, and Dial tries to clear it out. It'll deflect off our official, and Dial will put it out of bounds. So just about at the 15, it is going to be a Loyola throw-in on the near side. Dial will take the throw. No, it's Konzen to take the throw. Controlled by Stevi at the feet of Trevor Wilson. Cade Crewer will pick up the pass and get it out to Burns on the far side. Burns playing back into the middle. A chip ahead. And now chased down by Stevi. Here's a chip into the box, and Kaleva picks it up on the bounce. Kaleva is senior. I remember the first year he was a sophomore at the keeper position. And he has grown and matured a great deal, and we're going to have offsides on Radford. And that'll be our first offsides of the game. So the folks are bundled up in their winter gear here. It's typical soccer weather in Montana. As a former soccer player in the 90s. A lot of wind on that mic, trying to keep it down so it doesn't ramble on you guys too much. Chip, and now ahead to Jace, played to Konzen. Now Konzen will chip it ahead. Deflection by Maddox Holbert, and Stevi will clear it out to midfield. Picked up on the far side by Loyola. Burns with it at midfield. Burns drops it, and now we get a chip ahead. This is a good chip. Men on side, 2-on-1. It's Konzen with the shot, and it's in the back of the goal from 7 yards outside, and our Rams are on the board 1-0 off the Konzen goal. 30th minute. So Stevi will reset. And these two teams are pretty evenly matched. Steve I with another young squad, just like Loyola. Couple of seniors, majority are freshmen and sophomores. Here's the whistle to get us back going. Chester with it. Plays it around Burns. He's got one outside. Now it's chipped ahead, and they're going to say out of bounds on the far side. Loyola throw in just on their side of midfield. Here's a header by Burns to get it ahead. Jace Kruger is there out of bounds, and they'll say Loyola throw in now in front of the Stevensille bench. Stevensille bench is on the eastern side of the field. Conzen with a good throw into the box. Jace is there, one defender, and they're going to let this roll to the end line. Jace saves it off the end line. And the player's saying that is out of bounds, but the official says play on. Here's Burns on the far corner. Burns and Morales will duel, and Morales will get the ball free. Conzen with the takeaway from the back door. And Stevensille picks up the bouncing ball. Played from the backside. It's Morgan now trying to get it ahead, out of bounds, and this should be Stevensille throw in, and that's who they're going to point to. But I was talking about Ralph Soretti, the legendary Missoula soccer coach. He was my strikers coach when I was in high school back in the 90s. And what a great guy. Very intelligent soccer mind. Booted to midfield. Controlled now by Morales. Morales with one on in Cade. Cade Kruger continues there. Fed ahead to Gross. Gross plays it ahead. Lester is onside. Kalevo will come 10 yards out of the box and chip it to the Stevensille side of the field. Played back, and it'll be Conzen to pick it up at midfield in the middle of the field. Here's Cade now on the outside. Cade looking for help. Picked up by two. Cade turns. Defenders there from the backside, and now chipped ahead by Jacob Yaskis. Here's Dial. Back to the feet of Gross. Gross with a chipper to the middle of the field. Lester is onside. Lester's got to beat Ogilvy. Played to the middle of the field. Nobody there. And that will allow Kaleva to collect it on the far corner of the box. So the Rams working left to right as this one's kicked over midfield, and a header by Jace will put it deep into Stevensille territory. Turning it is Oliver Post. Burns is to collect the clear, and now Cade has it. Cade drops it back to Dial. Dial to the outside to Jace. Jace with some good footwork around two defenders on the far side of the corner of the box. Here's the drop to Dial. Dial will switch fields to the near side to Morgan. Morgan's got one down the near sideline. It's Sant. Sant will drive it into the near sideline, and it will make it to the end line, out of bounds on the end line, and a goal kick will come up for Stevensille. Here's Schreiber with the chip on the goal kick to midfield. A header will put it over the midfield line. Kirkus drives it to the near side, out of bounds, and they're going to say that's off of Stevensille. And that's exactly, nope, they're going to say that is Stevensille ball. So very quickly picking up the ball on the throw-in. And they'll have him rethrow, as he didn't clear behind his head all the way. Chipped ahead to midfield, to the middle of the field. Cross midfield in the Rams portion of the field. Kirkus with a shoulder, and he'll control the ball. Played ahead, and now to the outside. It's Morales and Sant. Morales with a touch. It's out of bounds, and Loyola will have the throw-in. Ball being played very well in the middle of the field between the goal boxes. Rams doing a good job of spreading things out. Stevensille with a good triangle defense to hold it off. Jace with a touch inside the box. He's got a battle one and trying to clear it. Now it's cleared out by Stevensille. Morgan at the 30. Dial with a touch, but it'll be Morales to turn it for Stevensille around Dial. Forced ahead to Gross. Gross to control with time and space. He'll send it. Ogilvy on the outside. On the chase is Radford. And now played outside to Olsen. Burns will control it. Dropped back to the far corner of the box of the Rams. Morales there with the deflection, and Stevensille controls. Stevensille to play it outside with Morales. Burns with a good touch out of bounds. And Stevensille will inbound, or have the throw in from in front of the Ram bench. Good throw. Chester with a header, but Kaleva is there to collect it. And he'll wait for everybody to push. A good drop kick. This one's a third of the way over the midfield line, but chipped back into the Ram side of the field. Now it's Gross to control. Dial will bring it down, and Dial with time and space. Dial will send it to Jace. Jace Kruger is offsides, and this will be a free kick for Stevi. 1-0 Rams on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. 24:47 left on the 5 Valley Auto clock. Good boot. Cross midfield. Deflection. Chase down, and it's going to be Cade Kruger to come up with it. He's got Sant ahead of him, but a good battle against Yaskis. Sant will control, and they're going to say that was out of bounds off of Yaskis, and the Loyola will have the throw in just from midfield on the near sideline. And Schreiber with a chip to the sideline as the ball rolled down in front of his goal, and now Konzen has to chase it down. Rolf Konzen, a freshman. And when I first saw him play, without looking at the sheet firsthand, I thought he was a junior. He's got some great ball control. Here's a knee out of bounds, and the Rams will have the throw in 10 yards up from the Stevensille box on the near sideline. It'll be Konzen to have the throw in. My specialty when I was back playing, I played for Big Sky all 4 years in high school. Sand to send it in the box, nobody there, and there'll be a chip to release it. And it'll be Chester on the far side. He'll get around Landry. He's got Kirkus to beat on the touch, and Kirkus will just put this one out of bounds and have everybody set up with a throw-in on the far side. Right at the edge of the box for the Rams. Morales to control. Played to the inside of the field. Chipped ahead to Gross. Too much. Sant with a touch. Now Sant has it deflected off of Gross. Out of bounds. And Stevi will probably, nope, it's going to be a Loyola throw-in as Morgan moves quickly to the ball. Throw-in just below us down here on the near sideline. Comes to Cade. Cade with time and space. Gets it back to Morgan. Morgan will chip it ahead. And played out of bounds off the deflection by Yaskis. But my specialty was a flip throw-in, as they're going to say Morgan had an illegal throw, and they'll have Stevensille have the throw-in now. Down the near sideline, on the run, working his way to the box is Radford. He's got Ogilvie to beat, and Ogilvie clears it out. Gross collects it right below us on the near side. Now a left foot, chipped into. There's Chester. Chester has continued play on the near side of the box. Comes to Gross. Gross feeds it to the middle of the field, and Kirkus clears it out. And we'll have a Ram go down, but the ref will say incidental contact, and Yaskis cannot save it on the sideline, and Rams will have a throw-in just below us here on the near side. Quickly to Konzen. Konzen with a touch back inside, and now it's Cade. Cade will send it ahead for Jace, and a good touch by Gabe Franklin to stop the run. Here's Gross. He'll send it ahead. Radford on the run. He's got one to beat, and Kaleva is the one to pick it up right at the edge of the box in the middle of the field. So Danny Kaleva. Good drop kick to midfield. Morales with the header, but Burns to control it on the far side. Schreiber will clear it out of the box, out of bounds on the near side, and Morgan will have the throw in. And Konzen says, I'll take it, so he comes in. He's got a good throw. But Ralph Savetti is the one that taught me how to do the flip throw in, and that's where you do a front flip with the ball in hand. Gives you a little bit more velocity, and the first corner kick is going to come at the feet of the Rams. Nope, they're going to say that's a goal kick. All right. So Schreiber with the kick from the near side. Cade is there with the header, plays it ahead to Jace. Another header by Cade as it's cleared out and now controlled by Morales. Morales comes to Gross on the near side. Gross with a chip. Dial touches, but Morales now sends it, and good job by Kirkus in the middle of the field. Conzen works it through, and the defense is there for Stevie out of bounds, and Loyola will throw in front of the Stevie bench. Substitution coming for Stevie. Ralph was the one that taught me how to do the flip throw in, and I could place that ball in the box, in the middle of the box, from quite a distance up the line. Here's a send into Loyola territory. Chester is there, Kirkus, and this one's going to bounce into the goal. And no offside, and Stevie has tied this up at 1 apiece. Off the deflection, but will give the goal to Chance Lester. So 1 apiece on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard here in the first half. Loyola will go to the outside on the far side to Byrne. Jace will chip it as the rain comes down now here at Rollin Field. Throw in front of the Stevie bench on the far side. Burns, and he'll have a deflection that's controlled by Stevensille. Here's Kirkus to clear it out. It would go off of Cade Kruer. As here comes the heavy rain at Rollin Field. Don't have video today. We were approved by the Montana High School Association to do 4 home games video and everything else audio. And we will respect the wishes of the Montana High School Association. We were here Saturday with the rain, and well, with video, the window covered up. And video was limited. So right at the 18-minute mark, throw in on the far side up from the box. And they're actually going to bring it up closer to the Ram bench. Quick throw by Morales to Gross off the foot of Gross on the deflection, and Conzen will have the throw-in. Smart by Conzen to rub the soccer ball on the front of his jersey before the throw-in. Get a good grip on there. Good back foot flick by Jace Kruer to send it ahead, but it's Stevensille to control. Morgan there to duel. And they're going to say incidental on the handball. Kaleva backs all the way up, and he grabs that one out of the air as Gross sent that one from 30 yards out. And now Kaleva clears it. Rams will push to the far side. Conzen with it just at the 20, and it's taken away. Played to the middle of the field to Gross. Gross with a chipper to send it. And that is typical Ralph Soretti, soccer. As we've got a heavy rain coming in now at Rollin Field. A chip. Lester with the header to push it forward, and Morgan touches it. It's going to come to the near side and roll out of bounds lazily. And Stevensille will have the throw-in. Lester will chase it down. Morgan is in the box. Morgan gets a touch on it, and Ogilvie will clear it to the near sideline. And Stevie will have a throw-in 10 yards up from the near flag in Ram territory. And very quickly to Morales. Morales will take it down the near line to the flag. Morgan will touch it. It's not going to roll out of bounds, and it's ahead to Cade. Now Cade will have it out of bounds, and a new throw by Gross. Gross will find Morgan inside the box, chip to the middle of the field, bounces around on the deflection. This is how we got a goal for Stevensille last time, and Burns trying to clear it out. Radford takes a strike. Gonzalez takes a strike, or Morales takes a strike, and now Lester. Lester's going to take it into the box, far side to the end line, a slider, and they're going to say this is out of bounds, goal kick coming. Chance Lester, a 6'2" forward senior for this Stevie squad. Good chip upfield. Conzen gets a touch on it, but it's Gross to collect. Gross will send it back in. Morgan with a reaching touch and sends it back into Stevie territory, but a quick throw in as the near man played it out. Conzen will take the throw in. He plays it to the outside. It's going to be a chase, a foot race to the near side. Jace will have it. Jace Kruer into the near corner. Plays around the defender, a touch, and this rolls over the end line. A goal kick coming for Stevie. We'll have girls soccer coming up at 5 o'clock as this one's cleared to midfield. Ogilvy, as he kicks it out of bounds, and he wants that ball back. Both Jace and Conzen by themselves in the middle of the field. Turns his toe just a little bit to the inside, and that ball would have been free. So now Stevie will have the throw-in. And it'll be dropped by Post right back to Schreiber. Schreiber kicks it to the far side. Played outside by Landry. And Landry will send it, and they're going to say Jace Kruer was offsides. So another free kick coming. The rain driving down now. And we're going to have to pull our microphone back in a little bit. It is getting drenched out there. Here's Lester with another run. Ogilvy to collect right at the box. Plays it to the near sideline. Sant chips it back in, and Cade Kruer will be there. Cade on the near side, plays it to the middle of the field, chips it ahead to Dial. Dial cannot collect it. Morales does for Stevie. And now Morales will play it ahead. And Landry with the touch through the legs of Jace. And Post will play this back to Schreiber, who chips it to the far midfield. Burns is there. Burns around one player with a good touch. And picked up by Stevie on the deflection. Trying to switch fields, but too much on the touch. Good thought, though. Lester was here with Morgan by himself. And Morgan will throw in for Loyola right below us, just on the Ram side of midfield. Here's Cade Kruer to receive the throw-in. Cade, good footwork at midfield. Between the legs of the Stevie player, and Gross will send it ahead off of the dual deflection. Cleva says, I'll collect it, just let it roll, and actually he's going to come out of the box and kick it to midfield. Morales has the touch, but Burns will collect it and sends it, but an awkward kick will put it out of bounds, and Stevie will throw it in front of their bench on the far side. We've worked down to the 12-minute mark here, folks. Tied at 1 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Here's Gross at midfield, challenged by Conzen. Morales will get a short chip. Now back to Gross. Gross chips it ahead. Burns there with the header. Gross battling on the far side, but Cade will take it away. And a deflection off of Franklin. Gabe Franklin, a 5'10 sophomore, will give Loyola the throw-in at midfield. Landry with a quick throw-in out of bounds in front of the Stevie bench, and now it's set up for a new throw-in. Smart play by Post as the throw-in is deflected out of bounds, and the Rams are working up the far sideline, one throw-in at a time. 15 yards at a time. Conzen cleaning the ball off with the front of his shirt. He's just right at the corner of the box on the far side. Throw to the middle of the box. Cones in, and Jace will have the chip over the crossbar. And a goal kick will come for Schreiber. He'll place it on the corner of the keeper box on the near side. And he'll have a good backward spiraling boot. Cade is there for the header to send it back in. And it's deflected. Gross with a foot on it, and now it's Jace Kruer. Plays it to Cade in the middle of the field. Cade with Morales on, chips it to the far side. He's got Burns. Burns inside the box, and they're going to say Burns was offsides. Will Burns. His older brother Charlie playing at Northern Arizona on the basketball program. And his oldest brother Jake here locally. Or Jack, I mean. Here locally still. Schreiber with the free kick. A header to the near side. And Stevie will have the throw in right at midfield. And they're going to say improper throw. So Loyola will get it back. Nope, they're going to let post throw again. And Loyola a little confused. It gets into Morales, but Conzen is there with the touch. Gross will play it to the outside. Controlled by Yaskis. Cade plays it down. Cade now to drop it back. Morales steps in on the near sideline. Chipped ahead. Sant with the header. Controlled by Gross at midfield. Gross down the near sideline. And Morgan with a good touch inside. Here's Morales, and Morales will take a crack, and this is going to go over the end line. And the Rams will have a goal kick once again. Loyola and the Loyola Rams and Breakers will be back in action on Thursday as they take the long road trip to Frenchtown, Montana. The ladies are first at 3, the boys at 5 o'clock. As Kaleva will have the goal kick. Dial will switch fields to the near side to Morgan, and it gets by Morgan. And he will get there before it goes out of bounds. Chips it back in, and they are going to say that it is out of bounds before he chipped it. So Gross very quickly into it. Gross ahead, trying to get to Lester. Ogilvy is there. Ogilvy, and he'll have it over the end line, and we'll have a corner kick come. First one for Stevie, and it'll be Morales to take it. So Morales will place the ball, and they're going to have the Yellow Jackets will have a substitution while the stoppage of play. Morales hiding the ball underneath his shirt to keep it dry. And the grass is short as Morales will put this on the end line side of the quarter circle. Hand in the air. Here's the chip, and Morgan with a touch off the post, out of bounds. Collected, and Morales into the box. Morales tries to feed it to Lester. And Cade Kruer will come up with it. Cade with a good foot move to the inside. He'll send it to Burns. But there waiting is Franklin. And a deflection sends it to the out of bounds. Quickly thrown in by Post on the far sideline. Conzen trying to get control, and it's touched out of bounds. So the Loyola Rams and Breakers soccer program in Frenchtown on Thursday. On Friday night, the Rams football squad will go north to Eureka, and this is going to be a test for the Rams. As the header's settled at midfield, Sant will have the chase, but it's touched by Stevensille. Comes to the near sideline, out of bounds as Gross tries to get there, but just not in time. And Morgan will have the throw-in very quickly. Morgan with a short throw. Gross gets a touch on it, but Cade Kruer will control it. Cade up to Jace Kruer. And Post to control, switches fields to the far side. Burns collects the pass, sends it ahead to Conzen. Conzen has Jace. Jace controls it outside the box. Conzen with a touch, he's waiting for help, and Burns is going to take a high crack off target. Goal kick coming. Burns last week, though, for football, got some time on the varsity squad on the defensive side, and he had his hands on 2 balls for a pick but just could not bring the ball in. The first one he brought to the ground, but when he landed on the ground jarred it loose, and the second one just slipped out of his fingers. Here's Jace to Conzen. Conzen with a chest stall. Conzen with 2 on, now 3 on. Conzen around, and it's Post who puts it outside for Stevie, and it's cleared. Gross picks it up on the near sideline. Gross up the near sideline, crosses midfield, and Cade Kruger will come in to take it away, and we get a whistle. They're going to say that touched out of bounds. Oh, they're going to give a free kick to the Rams. So Cade Kruger sends it into the box. Deflection gets it out, and now Dial. Here's Ogilvie as it crosses midfield onto the Rams side, which is on the left side. Burns, and Burns not able to control it out of bounds. Stevie will have the throw-in. Very quickly, Morales to send it. Dial is there for the deflection, and it'll stay with Stevie. They will have the throw-in. 10 yards up from midfield. Olsen with the throw, sends it, and Kaleva will collect it 5 yards deep in the box. Kaleva, a little bit of a risk taker. I like the way he plays goal. He's not one of those goalies that keeps his heels on the goal line. He comes out, he'll play the ball if it's coming deep into his end. He'll challenge as this one's up to Lester. Ogilvie is there. Lester tries to head it ahead, and this is going to be in the back of the net. Lester with a goal. And Stevie leads 2-1 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard, and once again it's the deflection that frees the ball and gives the opportunity. And when it comes to set pieces, as I call them, and that would be a corner or a free kick that's going to send a volley into the box, that's what you're looking for, is deflection. Just a way to get a body on the ball, a deflect to get it to go on course towards the goal. Dropped deep to Kirkus. Now sent ahead. Gross will collect it at midfield. Chipped ahead, and Radford. Radford steps on the ball to stall it. Now chipped ahead, and Kaleva will come out and waits for it to come back in the box. But back to Kaleva's style of keeper. He's an aggressive keeper. And sometimes, like the moment just a moment ago, it can burn you. But those moments don't come very often. Here's a good chipper. Radford, he steps on the ball, and the ball stays in place. And this is the Ram football field as well. They practice here, both the Rams football squad, football and soccer played here. And we'll have an offside on Conzen. So Post with a good chipper. Sant steps in the way. Sent outside by Wilson. Steve Ida control. Wilson and Yaskis will play keep away for a few moments. Dial will get aggressive, no whistle, and they'll let it play on. Ball collected on the far side at midfield by Franklin. Franklin sends it down the far sideline. And Landry, I think, thought this ball was going to go out of bounds. Nice job by Olsen to chase it down, and here's a shot way over the goal by Morales. That one was through the uprights, and if we were playing on Friday night, that would have been for 3 points. So Kaleva will have the goal kick, and we are down to the 2-minute mark. I did not stop the clock at the 2-minute mark. So time determined by the official at midfield. Ogilvie with it on the near side. Through the legs of Conzen. Jace will play it. Jace with 2 on. Waits for Conzen. has time and space, now sends it. Cohn's an onside. He'll chase it down, looking to see if he's onside, and he is. Cohn's with a free shot. Cohn's in deflection. Good save. Chase down, and they're going to say penalty kick as Post got aggressive in the box. And a penalty kick is set up for the Rams, and it will be Dial to take it. Saturday, Kaleva took a penalty kick and scored. So keeper versus keeper. Here's Dial. Dial with the approach, and he's going to go far post in the back of the net, and we're tied at 2. Two on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. And the clock stopped at the 2-minute mark. And the way high school soccer is, the clock is stopped at 2 minutes rather than having, as they call in World Cup soccer, garbage time, as Stevensille will start this one out. Cohnson steps in the middle of the pass, and Gonzalez will collect the deflection. Now booted ahead. Lester, and Lester has it chipped back into his own side of the field. Far side as Jace will chase it down. Jace and Franklin, mano a mano, now ahead to Morales. Morales with a good footwork. Landry with a header to keep the send from going. A high chip. Morgan, Ogilvy now with a high chip, and this is going to go out of bounds on the near sideline. Just on the Stevie side of the field. Short throw to the near side, Morales. Morales will switch sides, switch fields, and trying to go up on it is Franklin, and it just pivoted off the end of his foot. A quick throw. Cohnson with a run. Cohnson around one defender. He's got to beat another one. Comes to the top of the box, and there is the whistle for the half. Stevie saved by the whistle. We are tied at 2 apiece on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Your Montana Club halftime show will be up right after this. You're listening to Loyola Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Plonk. It's a unique bar and restaurant in Bozeman. It was a big financial decision to find the right bank for our growing business. We decided on Opportunity Bank of Montana. They have great mobile banking, which is good, because we're always on the go. I already had a home mortgage with them with great interest rates. We met with Bert, our new banker, our friend, and now we have a second restaurant in Missoula. It was a great opportunity.
Warning! Warning! This is not a drill.
Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash are at it again. They've taken what was already the best wash in town, the best value in town, and made it even better. Now, whenever you gas up your rig at Fast Trip Conoco, you can clean it up for half price. Yeah, you heard that right. When you fuel up your car at Fast Trip Conoco, you can get any wash at Magic Touch Car Wash for half price.
Warning! Warning! This is not a drill.
It's the Gas It Up, Clean It Up special at Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash on reserve across from Larchmont.
Half price wash. Only valid when purchased at the pump or in Fast Trip Conoco.
Do you have a property you'd like to sell? Maybe you're looking for a new place to call your own. Well, you're in luck because the Kelly Touch is the local realtor for you. Whether small or large, the Kelly Touch would love to help you find your piece of Montana to call home. From Kalispell to Florence, the Kelly Touch has the experience to help you buy or sell property throughout western Montana. The Kelly Touch, your professional real estate needs met. The Kelly Touch is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Construction is tough work. Lonebro is an energy services company with more than 900 employees. Lonebro's third largest expense was health insurance.
Payne West partnered with Lonebro to create a health and wellness program. Lonebro built an in-house gym, and together we developed a biometric screening program.
Since initiating our program, our employees are happier, healthier, and more productive, and our costs are lower.
Payne West Insurance, a partner in the health of your business.
If you're looking to upgrade your car, stop by Five Valley Auto Sales. From the moment you walk through the door, you'll be in for the best car buying experience ever. From their large inventory to their experienced staff, Five Valley Auto Sales is committed to helping you find the right car for you. View their featured vehicles online at www.5valleyautosales.com or stop by their location at 3300 South Reserve Street in Missoula. Five Valley Auto Sales is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on MPSN.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we are at halftime between the Rams and the Yellow Jackets, tied at 2. We're going to have our halftime update presented by Montana Club here in just a few moments, but we want to tell you about some programming going on as tomorrow we will have the Chris Stratton Show talking to Terad Richardson, a Frenchtown alumni and a Missoula Maverick alumni. He's at Layson College in Northern California playing baseball now. And then we'll also talk to the head coach of Sentinel Cross Country, Diego Hammett. Those are both on the Chris Stratton Show. You'll be able to get those uploaded on the podcast as of 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That will be on the iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. We're going to go ahead and step aside. When we come back, we'll have your halftime stats. Tied at 2, Rams and Stevie. Back after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Did your computer go down? Don't worry. Mike's Print and Copy has computer rentals available until you can get your computer replaced. In addition to computer rentals, Mike's has self-serve copiers so you can take care of your printing needs at your time. Do you have large-scale printing that needs to be done? From high-tech blueprints to large quantities, Mike's Print and Copy is your print store. Stop in and say hi to Mike at their new location at 1605 South Avenue West in Missoula. Mike's Print and Copy, proud sponsors of the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
The Missoula Prep Sports Network is Missoula's home for high school sports, and we need your help. MPSN is looking for local businesses to help us cover our local high school athletes by advertising their business on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you know of a business that would be interested in helping the Missoula Prep Sports Network in our coverage of high school sports in the Missoula area, drop us a line by using the Contact Us link at MPSN406.com. MPSN, Missoula's home for Missoula's Prep Sports heroes.
When your workout window is small, you don't want to travel far, wait for parking, and hope for an open machine. Let Fuel Fitness and Nutrition ignite your life with no waiting. Fuel has plentiful parking and 30,000 square feet of weight and cardio training equipment. When you want it, you'll get it at Fuel. Businesses, don't hesitate to sign up with Fuel. We have enough parking and equipment to handle your entire staff and 24/7 access so they can get in shape around work schedules. Ignite your life with no waiting at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition in the Holiday Village Shopping Center.
The Chris Stratton Show is Missoula's resource for local high school sports. Get fresh takes like...
How does it feel to be the senior now?
It's kind of crazy, honestly. It's weird having people people above me, and then this.
Get the rest of the show by downloading the podcast on iTunes or at www.thechrisstrattonshow.com.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network at Rollin Field. It is Loyola Soccer as they host Stevensille. The Yellow Jackets and the Rams on the field right now, tied at 2. Let's take a look at our Montana Club halftime. Stevensille with 2 goals, both of them at the feet of Lester, one in the 21st minute. Chance Lester in the 37th minute as well. Total of 6 shots on goal for the Yellow Jackets. 6 shots total, 4 of them on goal, giving them a 66%. 1 save for Schreiber, 2 fouls whistled against the Yellow Jackets, a corner and an offsides. For the Rams, it'd be Conzen in the 10th minute, and Dial would strike the ball in the back of the net off of a penalty kick in the 40th minute. The Rams would have 5 total shots towards the goal, 3 of them on target, giving them a 60% accuracy rate. 2 saves for Kaleva, 1 foul, and the Rams have been caught off sides a total of 4 times. So we'll have the second half in just a moment. You're listening to Loyola Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Plonk. It's a unique bar and restaurant in Bozeman. It was a big financial decision to find the right bank for our growing business. We decided on Opportunity Bank of Montana. They have great mobile banking, which is good, because we're always on the go. I already had a home mortgage with them with great interest rates. We met with Bert, our new banker, our friend, and now we have a second restaurant in Missoula. It was a great opportunity.
Do you have a property you'd like to sell? Maybe you're looking for a new place to call your own. Well, you're in luck because the Kelly Touch is the local realtor for you. Whether small or large, the Kelly Touch would love to help you find your piece of Montana to call home. From Kalispell to Florence, the Kelly Touch has the experience to help you buy or sell property throughout western Montana. The Kelly Touch, your professional real estate needs met. The Kelly Touch is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we get set for the second half here at Rollin Field, tied at 2. Yellow Jackets and Rams. The Yellow Jackets will have the ball first. Rams will defend the eastern side of the field as the field runs east to west here in Missoula. So the Rams and Stevensille all set up. We are just moments away. And there we go. The whistle is indicating the start of the clock and the ball on the move. Dial with it at midfield, plays it outside to Morgan to the far side. Morgan has time and space. And Morales will step up and deflect it out of bounds. Loyola with the throw in. It'll be Morales to Dial. Dial at midfield on the far side. Morgan gets the deflection. Gross sticks a foot up and puts it back into Ram territory. Ogilvy with a shot back in, and Conzen will send it ahead. There's Post to keep it on the ground, and Gross will pick it up. Gross with a touch to Morales, but Morgan is there. And this one's played into the box. Schreiber will pick it up on the end line on the near side, and he's going to go ahead and just collect that and bring that up for a drop kick. Drop kick from the near side to the middle of the field. This one's going to cross midfield. Lester is there on the run. He's got 3 defenders, and Kirkus will put this one towards the sideline on the near side. And Landry not able to keep it. So Gross now to throw in from the near side, halfway between the end line and midfield. A touch by Landry. This will go out of bounds, and they're going to say that one is off Radford, and a goal kick will come. So Kaleva sets the ball up on the far corner of the keeper box. Cade Kruer with a touch, but collected by Morales. Comes to the near side to Radford. Radford back to the middle of the field, and Konzen aggressively steps up to get a touch on it, but it is Stevensille to control. They'll drop it. Now switching fields to the near side, and Landry gets a touch on it. On the deflection, now Landry to give it a chip across midfield. And they'll play it on the far side. Here's the touch by Morgan. Morgan up to Cade. Dial with a short touch, but not able to control, and it's Gross in the middle of the field. Cade Kruer with a touch, and Kirkus with the shot now. Chips it to the far side in front of the Ram bench as it sits on the western side of the field on the far sideline. Chipped down the far sideline. And Steve I will wait for it to roll out. Post with the throw in. And it'll roll out of bounds off the touch. They're going to say this is a Loyola throw in. Gross will have it, but he slides to the ground as he tries to get the kick, and now Dial chips it ahead for Jace Kruer. It'll be played to the far side, into the far corner. Stalling it is the defender, but Loyola's there and chipped in, and Schreiber will have the easy catch into the breadbasket. So the drop kick comes to the far side of the field, out of bounds. Ogilvy will have the throw in. Here's the drop in. Very aggressively coming in from the backside is Lester. They'll say this is out of bounds. Ogilvy will have the throw in front of the Steve I bench on the far side of the field. Here's a quick throw by Ogilvy. Morales will collect it at midfield, in the middle of the field. Now comes to the near side. He's got Radford. Radford is onside. Radford with a shot between the uprights, and that one's for 3 points if we were playing football. Good strike, though. Just got to get your head over the ball just a little bit. That's what they want you to do, to drive it and keep it low. As soon as you let your balance go back, that's when you start getting air underneath the ball. So when you have that approach, you just want to keep your head over the ball, keep your body upright. Jace Kruer on the near side as it crosses midfield. He's got one on. And Franklin plays it to the middle of the field. Burns ahead, but collected by Post as Stevensille. To Morales, short pass. Near side. Burns is there. Post and Burns go mano a mano, and Post will have the touch out of bounds. It'll be throw in. Burns very quickly down the near sideline. He's got Jace. Jace Kruer against Franklin, and it's out of bounds off of Franklin. Jace will have the throw in. Actually, it's going to be Konzen to take the throw, and it's on the near sideline just off of the box, the goal box of Steve I. A header in the box. Morales goes airborne. Collected by Cade. Cade is taken on from the backside by Camden Johnson. Loyola controls. Here's Burns, and it's touched. They're going to say this is a corner kick coming for Loyola in the near flag on the western side of the field. And it'll be Burnsy Burns to take the corner for the Rams. He'll put it on the end line side of the quarter circle. Here's Burns now with the strike. Back middle of the box, cleared out by Steve I. Cade Kruer will chase it down, gives it to Burns, but standing in there with a toe is Radford. Radford is sent to the near side, out of bounds, and Loyola will have the throw-in right below us on the near sideline. Tied at 2 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Here's a throw-in down the near sideline, and Burns will have the good block out. Here's Burns with a strike to the top of the box. He's got Jace there, but Gross is there to collect it, and Landry will keep it in bounds. Here's Konzen now. He'll work his way to the box in the middle of the field, and taking off the ball from the backside is Radford. Radford goes down. It's sent in the box. Deflection. Jace Kruer is there. Schreiber with a And they're going to say this is going to be against Jace Kruer as he had his foot up. I don't think we're going to see a card come out here, but Schreiber is down. Scary play as the keeper was coming in and Jace was trying to take a shot, and Schreiber right into the gut. Jace's cleat into the gut of Schreiber, and Schreiber will get up and shake it off. He'll take the free kick. Near side of the box, 8 yards deep. Upfield to Gross. Gross will switch fields to the far side. Cade Kruer chases it down, but controlled by Stevensille. Played to the middle of the field. Landry will turn it. Conzen collects on the far side at midfield. He's got Cade in the middle. Cade challenged by Morales. He'll drop it back to Conzen. Conzen will send it the far side. Chased down by Sant. Defenders there, just put it out of bounds, and the Rams will have the throw-in on the far sideline. Midway between the flag and the top of the box. And Conzen will take it, and he smartly, we don't have any more rain, but that field is wet. And Conzen smartly wiping the ball off at the front of his shirt, get a good grip. This one's thrown to the top, to the middle of the box. Burns is there trying to take a turn on it. It'll bounce to the end line. And a goal kick will come up for Stevi. Schreiber with the goal kick. Burns goes up. This one's going to squeak by both Burns and Landry. Rolls down the near sideline. Lester has a touch, but it's going to be out of bounds. Loyola with the throw-in. Midway between midfield and the top of the box on the near sideline. It'll be Kirkus to take the throw, and he'll run up the line as it rolled deep down. Burns receives the throw-in, tries to flick it over Morales' head, but Morales will have it on the inbound now. Just on the Rams side of midfield. Landry will receive the kick, a deflection off of Radford, and Landry very quickly. Here's Burns. He'll turn it. He's got Conzen. Conzen with a touch, but Post is there first. Now to the middle of the field. Touched ahead into Ram territory, and it'll be Kirkus to send it back out. Alex Kirkus, he's one of the seniors, a 5'9" defender. And he has been stout on the defense for this Rams squad the last 2 years. Throw in coming on the far sideline. Rolls into the middle of the field. It'll be collected by Lester. He'll drop it to the near side at the feet of Franklin. Franklin sends it ahead, but Kirkus says, nope, we'll stop it there. Here's Burns on the chase, but Franklin sends it back in. Kirkus with another touch, and he'll send it upfield, clears it across on the western side of the field. Conzen chases it down. Post is there inside the box. Here's Jace, and Conzen will save it from going out of bounds. He'll send it down the near sideline to Jace Kruer. Jace around Franklin. Now to the end line. Touched and to the top of the box. Here's Burns with a strike, and this one's going to roll. Schreiber dives on the ball. So now we get it turned the other direction. Radford is there, but Landry with a high chip to midfield. Cade Kruer will settle it around Morales, and he'll send it, switching fields to the far side to Sant. Chased down by the defender. Here's Conzen. Chips it to the outside. A header will bring it back to the middle of the field. Morales and Jace Kruer will collide, but it's collected by Morales. Morales now sends it ahead. Lester too much on the touch. He's got Burns. Burns on the near side. And Burns, it'll roll out of bounds. This will be a Loyola throw-in, I believe. We haven't seen. Now we do get the signal from our official in the middle of the field. We've got Darren Bayer, Tracy Worley, and Christopher Cahoon as our officials, and Schreiber will pick this one up as it's in the box. He'll drop kick it from the near sideline. It's got a sideways spin to midfield. Kirkus with a good header, but Gross will collect it on the near side, just inside Stevie territory. Plays it ahead to Lester. Lester outside. He's got one in Johnson, who chases it down, but it's out of bounds. Too much on the touch, and Loyola will have the throw in front of the Stevie bench on the far side. We've got ladies soccer coming up next. That's right, folks. The Breakers will play at 5 o'clock. And then Thursday, it's the long road trip out to Frenchtown. Ladies first at 3, and the boys play at 5. And Jace Kruer is onside as he gets it from Burns. Schreiber goes down, and this one's played to the outside of the goal, and Jace Kruer puts the Rams on top of the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard, 3-2. And I've got this wrong on here. I've got Breakers on the board. It's actually the Rams. So let's update that. I mean, we're only 2/3 of the way through the game. Might as well have the right names on the scoreboard. Am I right? So we reset at midfield. There's the whistle, and Morales will receive the kick from Lester. This one's shot ahead. Landry and Radford will chase it down the near sideline. Landry with a touch out of bounds, and Radford will have the throw in on the near sideline. Burns with a touch out of bounds, and this will bring it a little further up the western side of the field. Radford will take the throw in. You can hear that the wind is still blowing here at Rollin Field. It is a chilly day. Welcome winter. We have a winter storm advisory coming up here in the western part of Montana. Lester with a good play between 3 defenders. Ogilvie gets a touch on it. Morales, and it's a save by Kaleva. Kaleva with a boot to the near side, midfield. Burns will collect it. He's challenged by Franklin. Franklin lets it roll out, and it'll be a Stevie throw-in, 10 yards on their side of the field. To Gross. Gross the chest stall, plays it to the middle of the field. He's got one, sends it ahead, but Ogilvie will stop the pass. Back to Cade. Cade Kruer with Morales. Cade with some good footwork, drops it to Morgan. Morgan, it's deflected off the foot of Johnson, out of bounds, and they're going to say this is a throw-in coming for Loyola. Gross says, no, that's our ball, but the official points in favor of the Rams. Ogilvie will kick it upfield, and this is going to go out of bounds. Coach Konzen, head coach of the Rams, will catch it at midfield. A little bit of sun and blue sky trying to poke its way in the west. But as I said, it's chilly and windy here at Rollin Field, and we do expect, at least to the west of us and north of us, there to be a winter storm. Konzen with a good throw down the far sideline. Post will be there for a header. Konzen, and the deflection will keep the ball off. Deflection off Gross will keep the ball in favor of the Rams. And Morales will steal the throw in. Kaleva's going to come up, and he'll kick this one out of bounds as he will collide with Ogilvie and Lester. But all three get up, and Kaleva with the back pedal into the net. Here's Morales receiving the throw in on the far side. He'll touch it out of bounds, and now Dial will have the throw in for the Rams, just up from the box on the far sideline. Trying to go to Jace in the middle of the field, but Post will send it ahead for Lester, and Lester not able to control it. And Konzen will have the throw in front of the Stevie bench on the far side now. Deflected out of bounds. Konzen moves up the sideline, right to left, and now the throw in. Cade Kruer with the collection. Now a flick to the near sideline by Burns. Burns will chase it down and tries to stop it, but it is rolls out of bounds as he slides out of bounds as well. And they're going to say illegal throw in for Franklin as he didn't have the ball completely over his head. Kind of did a side throw because he was throwing it to his left instead of in front of him. Up the near sideline. And Landry will let it roll out of bounds. So Landry will have the throw in 10 yards deep on the near sideline on Steve I territory. Rams lead 3-2 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Conzen says, I'll take the throw. And Conzen with a good throw deep down the near sideline. Franklin gets a touch on it, but Dial is there. Post with a header. Burns will settle outside the box on the near side, but nice job by Post to take him off the ball. Here's Gross. Gross gets it ahead. It's Radford now. Radford has 2. Lester will make his run, stays on side, and now it's sent ahead for Lester. And Kaleva will collect it before anybody can get there. Drop kick to the near side. Morales with a touch on it. Stays inbound. Radford collects. Sends Morales down the near sideline. And Isaac Mercado Landry will have the throw in. Nobody there for Burns, so Burns has time. It's deflected off of Franklin, and now we'll have a new throw in. And Conzen says, I'll take this one again. And Conzen with another deep throw down the near sideline. It'll be Jace Crewer and Post to chase it down, and Post smartly just taps it out of bounds on the near sideline. Got to use that 12th man defensively in these situations. Force them to reset. Here's the throw in to midfield. Jace Crewer is there. No header. Cade's on the backside. Chased down by Sant. It'll roll out of the box, and Sant will be pushed off the ball, and there's a whistle. The Rams will have a free kick. Dial to take the kick. And it's just outside the box on the far side. A chip low, deflection. Cade gets a foot on it. Header outside, just on the line of the box. Bounces, and it'll be cleared out by the defender. Ogilvie collects before Lester can get there, but the deflection is too much. And that allows Johnson to collect, who is covered up by Morgan. Cade Crewer, good footwork in the middle of the field. Drops it to Dial. Dial will place it back on the outside. Lester gets a foot on it, and that allows Ogilvie to get in on it. Steve I will have the substitution. Throw-in will be at midfield, far side, and they're going to call a whistle here. Run, Ralphie. Ralph Soretti, coach of the Stevensille Yellow Jackets. He is a legend in high school soccer here, the Strikers programs. Ravi Da Silva helped put the Strikers programs together way back in the day, but Ralphie was very intricate in that as well. Here's a header by Kirkus that sends it to midfield in the middle of the field, chased down by both Crewer boys. Cade will send it ahead. Burns and Jace are there. Between the legs of Post, Jace now settles. He's got one in the box. Conzen, and a shot through the goal post by Jace Crewer. Schreiber to chase it down. This would be a good moral win for the Rams. Makes things interesting for standings. Dial gets a head on it. Jace will settle. Gives it off to Cade. Cade with 2. Between 2 defenders to Jace. Jace sends it to the outside. And there to collect it is Yaskis for Stevensille. He'll send it ahead. Landry with an off kick, and Morgan will settle it at midfield on the far side. He'll send it down on the far sideline. Sant keeps it in bounds, collected by the defender, and it's sent upfield. Ogilvie will chase it down as it goes deep down the far sideline, and he'll just put it over the head of the young men on the bench of the Steve I on the far side. Quick throw in. Lester sends it to the middle of the field. He'll get the deflection. Now it's Radford. Radford taken off the ball by Kirkus. Morales will take a strike, and that one's way outside, but Kalevo will have the dive, and a goal kick is coming. Morales about 8 yards outside the box, and you're down 1 point, 1 goal with just under 18 minutes left. You got to take those strikes no matter where they're at and hope for a deflection. Here's Kalevo with the goal kick up the far sideline. Konzen is there. Konzen with 2 on, splits the defenders. Konzen up the far sideline, and this one's going to be touched out of bounds, and this, I believe, is a Stevensille throw in. Nope, they're going to say Loyola. Quick throw in. Gross gets ahead on it, but it's Cade Kruer to collect it. Lester will chase him down. Morales will take the pass away in midair. Morales up the far sideline. He's got Cade Kruer there. Cade with a touch on it. Gross now sends Morales, but Morgan is there with the header to put it out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in. Gross will take the throw at midfield on the far sideline. Takes it down the far sideline. It'll be Ogilvy and Lester to chase it down. Ogilvy and Lester. Ogilvy gets a touch on it. Yaskis is there to help out. Out of bounds off of Yaskis, so Ogilvy will take the throw in. Ogilvy does double duty in the fall as he also plays football for the Rams. He is the place kicker. Lester will collect. Ogilvy steps into it. Taking over for his older brother, who has kicked for the Rams the last couple of years and is no longer, he graduated, I should say, in 2019. So Clayton picking up the torch and taking over, and he's done well kicking field goals and extra points for the Rams this year. So Landry will have the throw in down the near sideline, and he's going to have it out of bounds. That will allow Radford to have the throw in, and Morales says, I'll take the throw. They'll have Morales move 8 yards deep into Ram territory. Trying to go to Lester. Cade Kruer will get the deflection up to Jace. Jace will turn with 1 on. Jace now to send it, and Konzen is off sides. And we don't get any call on it, and they'll let it go. Burns will pick it up on the throw-in. Now he sends Konzen on the throw-in. Konzen into the defender. Official says blue, and now Konzen will have the throw very quickly. Cade Kruer to settle it. He picked up by the defender. Spins out around Morales. Sends it to the outside. A deflection, and Burns will take a crack. And this one's going to be off the right post. Collected by Yaskis, and he'll send it to Morales in the middle of the field. Wow, folks. And now Steve I deep. Lester will slide. Ogilvy deflects it, and we'll have a corner coming for Steve I. It'll be Morales to take it. And that'll only be the 3rd corner of the game. 2 now for Steve I, as Morales will set this one on the sideline portion of the quarter circle. This one's volleyed into the back of the box. A header by Gross. Cade Kruer is there, cleared out on a high kick. Burns with a header forward, and Lester will have the chase down. Lester now plays it to the outside. Morales collects on the near sideline. Morales 10 yards outside of the box, tries to play it through traffic, and Ogilvy is there. Now Morales collects it once again. Played ahead to Cade. Cade with time and space. Has Jace. An off. And they're going to say offsides. We got a flag up, and actually they're going to have the center official and the sideline official come together and discuss something here. Now the officials do wear headsets, but it's only communication between themselves. And this is going to give up a free kick for Stevie just outside the box to the near side of the field. Morales sets up 5 yards outside the box on the near side. Rams set up a 4-man wall. Landry will go to the back post. Morales to kick. 1 in the box for Stevie in Johnson. This one, and it is in the back of the net. Morales off the free kick on the bottom of the post, and it goes in. We're tied at 3, folks. So 3 apiece on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. And our clock stopped and I didn't notice it. There we go, down to 12 minutes. Here's Jace. Jace with 2 to beat. Sends it. Conzen. Conzen with a touch to settle it. Outside to Sant. Sant with a high chip to the back post, and Schreiber will pick it out of the air. That was a great play by Sant to have Burns on the backside, but Schreiber able to collect it. Now it's sent, and Kaleva will collect it inside the box. Drop kick. Header by Maddox Holbert in the middle of the field, and Cade Kruger will settle. He drops it back to Morgan. Morgan. And it's touched by Stevensille out of bounds. Rams will have throw in at midfield. Substitute ready for Stevie. Conzen with a good throw. He's got Sant. Sant and Yaskis will chase it deep. Yaskis is the turn. Burns will have the pass. Burns takes the crack, and this one's through the uprights as well. So Schreiber will have the goal kick, places the ball on the near side of the keeper box. Here's the chip. Gross will collect it midway between the box and midfield. Morales now at midfield. Ogilvie will have the settle. Ogilvie on the run. Ogilvie with space. And Gross steps up and sends it ahead for Radford. Radford on the run. He's got Landry to beat, and this one's off target. Goal kick coming for the Rams. Kaleva, goal kick to midfield. Morales will send it in. Cade Kruger goes down as well as Gross. Collected by Morgan, and now Lester takes it away on the toe. Lester on the run into the box. Lester with a shot, and Kaleva will have the save. Turned once again by Stevensille, but Cade is there to collect. Conzen now. Conzen, and a deflection by the defender. Conzen still collecting the ball, and Morales will take it from the backside. Conzen, Morales now mano a mano. And Conzen will turn it. Morales with some good shoulder work to get Conzen off the ball, but Conzen blocks out. Strike to the near side, and it'll go out of bounds before anybody can get to it. This will be a Stevie throw-in right below us on the near sideline. Tied at 3. Just under 9 minutes to play. Throw-in, Dial is there, and it'll go back out of bounds, and Stevie will have the throw-in once again, only 3 yards up the field, closer to the Rams side. Here's Morales. Burns steps in. Conzen will collect. Conzen sends it. Post is there. Burns will let it go out of bounds. Burns collects it now. He's got the throw-in down the near sideline. Burns collects, and it's cleared by Franklin. Near side. Cohnsen throws to midfield to Kirkus. Kirkus settles. Lester pushes him off, and Lester will be called for the foul. And Lester, Chase Lester 6'2", Alex Kirkus 5'9", so that 3 inches makes a big difference. This one's into the box. Schreiber will collect it on the run. Jace Kruer trying to get there. Gross will pick up the rolling pass from Schreiber. Out of bounds, and the Rams will have the throw-in. Here the wind picking up here at Rollin Field. They've got the stands decorated with balloons as it is senior day. As Post will send this one deep into Ram territory. Ogilvie to chase it down. He's got Lester to challenge. Lester's got some great wheels as he speeds ahead. Ogilvie to clear. Now it's cleared back in, or sent back in. And Ogilvie will deflect it out. Stevensille will have the throw-in front of their own bench. We get a whistle, and they're going to have the throw-in redone. Very quickly to Lester. Lester with the drop. Played to midfield to Gross. And it's taken away by Cade. Sent to Burns. A toe by Franklin. And Morales cannot settle it. It's out of bounds as he slips trying to kick the ball. And Landry will have the throw-in. Tied at 3 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. The Stevie girls warming up on the eastern side of the field in the grass. Out of bounds. Gross will have the throw-in at midfield. And between the legs of Landry, and Lester's got an open run. Here comes Kirkus. Kirkus steps on the ball as Landry is dribbling. And here's the shot deflected by Morgan, and it's sent to the far side, collected by Yaskis. Yaskis is challenged, and it's deflected out of bounds. Loyola will get the throw-in. Looks as though Sant will take it, and he's going to have a short throw to Morgan. Morgan with the chip upfield, but Morales will collect for the Rams. Comes to the near side to Radford. Radford has his pass deflected, and Morales will settle once again. Here's a chipper into the box. Landry, and now Radford will take the shot, and it's a nice easy save for Kaleva. Kaleva to midfield. Burns stops it at midfield on the near side. Waits for traffic. Now sends it ahead. The deflection. Cohnsen is there. Now chased down. Sant. Sant plays it off the ball. And now Sant and Yaskis will go on the challenge on the far side, and they'll say this is out of bounds. Stevie throw in. And they blow the whistle. They're going to have a rethrow as no, a yellow card is coming out. Who is getting the yellow card? I think this is going to go against the Rams on the yellow card. It's going to go against Sant. So Lexon Sant gets the yellow card away from the ball. Quick throw down the far sideline. Morgan is there. The substitution is Schrichty for Sant. And this one will deflect off of Mr. Newman, taking pictures on the far side. And it's quickly back in for Sant, and Schrichty back to the bench. Cohnsen with a throw deep into the box. A deflection. Burns is there. Burns will take the shot, and it's off target, and a goal kick will come.
Reminder for the senior escort to gather at the track at the bottom of the right-hand side of the bleachers.
Dial will step in. Cohnsen is there. Defender will get it free, and Cade Kruer will send it. Sant is there. Defender once again for Stevie. And they're going to say this is a Loyola throw-in on the far sideline. We're down to just about the 3-minute mark here on the 5 Valley Auto clock, tied at 3 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. And Jace Crewer is there, a good touch by Wilson, and this one's just off target. As it deflects off the crossbar for Sant. Schreiber puts the ball in the middle of the goal for the goal kick. Chipper to midfield, Gross to control. Konzen challenges, as well as Kate. We drop down to that 2-minute mark. The clock will stop. Ogilvy collects at midfield. He'll send it ahead. It's Jace Crewer. Jace Crewer plays it to Ogilvy. Ogilvy inside the box on the far side, and Morales will take the ball off the toe of Ogilvy. Morales down the near sideline, out of bounds, and we'll have a throw-in coming for the Rams. Konzen, good throw into the box. A header will send it back towards the goal by the Yellow Jackets, rolls over the end line, and the Rams will have their goal kick. So we have reached the 2-minute mark. And it will be Burns to take the corner. Burns has it deflected out of the box. And Loyola will have the throw-in on the far sideline. So the clock stops at 2 minutes. The final whistle will come down to the time on the watch of the official in the middle of the field. Morgan with a good touch. Morales there to collect the pass. Morales up the far sideline will cross midfield on the far side. Comes to the middle of the field. He'll send it ahead to Lester, but Landry has a step into the ball. Comes to the near side, and it's kicked out of bounds. Throw-in will come on the near sideline for the Rams. So we are at inside the 2 minutes. Those of you that are familiar with World Cup or Olympic soccer, there's usually a bonus time or garbage time where it goes over the half time. Well, with high school soccer, as this one's thrown in down the far sideline, Franklin with the deflection out of bounds. But in high school soccer in Montana, the clock stops at 2 minutes, and they leave it to the official at midfield. Here's Cade Crewer. He'll step in and inside the box. Sant drops it to Dial. Dial will send it in, and Schreiber on his knees will pick it up. Played ahead. And all by himself now is Olsen. Olsen takes a crack, and Kaleva with an easy save. Trying to send it. Burns will take over, and now a battle. Rolls to the near sideline. Burns will let it go. That's out of bounds, and the Rams will have the throw-in on the near side. Burns with a quick throw to the middle of the field. Cade Crewer is there, but it's Gross to collect for Stevie. Gross sends it ahead for Lester. Lester's got one to beat. Kaleva kicks it out of the territory to midfield. It's on the bounce. Here's Konzen to send it for Jace. Franklin is there. Cade and Franklin. Franklin plays it outside. Here's Ogilvy on the takeaway. And Stevensille collects it again. Lots of traffic. Onside. Here's Jace Crewer. He's got one to beat in the keeper, and he'll take the shot. Deflection will put the ball out of bounds. And they're going to call game. No corner kick to come for the Rams. And Loyola will finish the game tied at 3 with the Stevensille Yellow Jackets. We'll have the Breakers coming up shortly. They are going to take care of some Senior Day festivities between games. But for the game, goals coming in the 21st, 37th, and 68th minute. The 21st and 37th off of Lester, Chance Lester. And then in the 68th minute, it would be Carlos Morales. 14 total shots, 9 of them on goal for 64% accuracy for the Yellow Jackets. 4 saves for Schreiber, 4 fouls against the Yellow Jackets, 2 corners and 1 offside. For the Rams, Cohnsen in the 10th minute, Dial in the 40th minute off of a penalty kick, and Kruer in the 53rd. The Rams would have 13 total shots, 8 of them on goal for a 61% accuracy. 6 saves for Kaleva, 4 fouls against the Rams, 2 corners, and 4 times offsides. And it would be Lexon Sant to pick up a yellow card in the 76th minute. So that's your breakdown of Loyola Ram soccer. We'll have the ladies up next. We'll step aside. We'll talk to you in about 30 minutes. Loyola Breakers and Stevensille Yellow Jackets soccer.
Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Missoula Sports. MPSN's coverage of Missoula Sports is proudly powered by Fuel Fitness. Tune in next time when the Missoula Prep Sports Network has coverage of your local sports heroes.